So then we get to the part where the daughter is a cheerleader at the high school and they go
Yeah.
to the game and she has a halftime dance routine with her friends and especially her friend Angela Hayes.
Yeah.
And Lester does not want to go.
Mm-mm.
He's more or less like, I want to watch this show on TV. Do we really have to go? Yeah. He's like, I don't want to see this shit. It's boring. She doesn't really want us there, which is true. She did not want her parents coming because she pretty much hates her parents, but most teenagers do. So they go. The girls perform their cheerleading dance. After it's over, Lester and Carolyn gets introduced to Angela.
Yeah.
But before that, Lester is sexually aroused by Angela during this halftime dance. And that's where we start seeing the rose petal theme come into play.
The Lolita sequence.
That is crazy that he singled out her out of all. Pretty much the gym was empty in his mind. It was just those two in the gym with a spotlight on her. And he just focused like a hawk on his prey. Which we were talking about earlier is like, if this movie was made today, it would come off as very creepy.
It comes off as creepy.
Yeah.
It comes off as creepy. You could not lean into giving the main character their fantasy as they see it now.
Correct.
I don't think so. I mean, if someone tried to do that, you would be making, kiddie porn or something.
Yeah.
And it would really turn people off. But in 1999, they allow the main character to lean in and they allow the audience to see it. Lolita.
Yeah.
They allow the audience to see how sick this guy is.
Yeah. That's what I loved about past movies is like they let writers and directors express what's going on in their minds without worrying about how society would see it.
Yeah.
Now everybody's worried about how you would seem to other people. I don't want to make a movie about this because I would seem like a creep. Yeah. Back then, just express yourself. Yeah. Whatever the movie is, just express yourself. So I'm so grateful that we have movies like this in the archives where you can see the mind of a man like that in real time of this is how some men think.
Yeah. Yeah.
We might not like it, but we got what happened with Woody Allen? He fucking adopted a 12-year-old or something and end up marrying her.
Not great.
Not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, so I think that this movie and Alan Ball is making a critique on this and writing from the perspective of the main character and leaning into it and really showing it. He's making a critique. People these days, even if you're making a critique, they stay with the superficial like, oh, no. They're not allowing room to breathe for the critique. This is wrong. Yeah. But it also bookends something really important. Lester Burnham is on the precipice of Breaking Bad. He's in recovery from 15 years of being beaten down by his job, his home life. He's so lonely and he's coming to the forefront. He's been in a coma for 20 years, he says.
Yeah.
And he's regressing back to when he thought time was good. And that was when he was in his early 20s.
So do you think it's because of him seeing Angela made him do that? Or do you think he would have actually transitioned backwards anyway?
I think he would have transitioned anyway. Okay, and I think Angela was the first object of his affection as he's regressing back to his early 20s. So in his mind, psychologically, he's in his early 20s.
But you know who Angela really is? It's just a younger version of his wife. That's who Angela actually is.
Exactly.
It's just his wife when he first met her.
Yes.
Beautiful, young, vibrant, youthful. Yes. That's all Angela really is. But he can't get that out of his wife now because he sees her as bitchy.
She's an older
bitchy woman.
Who's lost her way just as much.
Correct.
And she's just as much saddled with kind of social ills that Lester has been, only in the opposite way. She's accepted conformity and she's embraced it and she wants it so bad.
Yeah, success and all that other real estate stuff. So now we get to the part where he's in bed with his wife. He has another dream of Angela covered in rose petals. Mm-hmm. But it gets even weirder. Like he goes into his daughter's room while his daughter's taking a shower.
Yeah.
Goes to her journal or book, finds Angela's number, and actually tries to call her. That was the point where I feel like he said, I'm just going to go ahead and say, fuck it, I'm going to cross this line. I'm going to make the call.
Yeah, yeah.
But even then, he couldn't really make the call because when she answered, he was kind of like, and he kind of got stuck. But I feel like that was the point where he decided, like, I'm going to do this shit. I'm going to see if I can generate some type of relationship with Angela outside of my daughter.
Yeah.
That was the creepy moment to me.
Yes.
Because he made the call.
It's creepy, but he's acting like a teenager. He's regressing.
Good point.
He's acting like a 42-year-old man doesn't do this. A teenager does. And someone who's going back mentally snoops through journals, through diaries.
Yeah. And the way he ran away when the daughter came out the shower.
It's so pathetic.
He ran away like a child.
Yes.
Making hella noise. We can hear you running through the house.
Not wanting to get caught.
Right.
Yeah.
It was so weird. It was like, but I'm glad you brought that up. Like, he did regress back into like being a teenage boy. That whole holding on to the phone, not knowing what the nervousness of a teenager. The nervousness.
What does he do next? He gets a job at a burger shop. What does he do next? He buys the car of his dreams from when he was a teenager.
So we kind of see a man going through midlife crisis.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's a whole nother thing that a lot of men go through. Is this point in your life where your kids are older, they don't need you as much. Your wife is older, she really doesn't need you as much. You guys are not really having sex. And then you're trying to figure out what to do with the rest of your life.
Self-identity.
Yeah, self-identity.
When your identity is, going to work 9 to 5, supporting your family in this way, and that gets ripped away from you, you're baseless. You have no sense of who you are.
Yeah. I feel like Lester lost himself, like you said, he lost himself years ago, but also at the same time, like with anybody, that kid is always still there. That kid is always still there. And I think the biggest issue with Lester, and I'm glad I don't have this issue personally in my life, is that he didn't have no homeboys to kind of keep him grounded. He doesn't have anybody to talk to.
He's a loner.
He is totally a loner. Most men have at least a brother or an uncle or some other man to express what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
But just imagine being that dude in that world by yourself. Nobody to talk to.
Well, he does get someone. He gets Ricky Fitz, a teenager.